Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to work on both of these backgrounds over here, and I think I actually made a video or a short where I did work on these, and I think I did them together. As you can see, they look very much alike, and I'm not sure what paper this is. It might be Bristol paper, or it's not watercolor paper, but it might be some other kind of paper. But before I dive into that, I just wanted to show you some these are not backgrounds, but these are works in progress, and I think they're from a really long time ago. Like, I want to say 10 to 12 years ago. I mean, I don't even remember doing these, but I found them in my studio, and I just thought it would be really interesting to share them with you guys, and also to, for me, to look at it and to see what you know, I still excuse me, present day, and what is just like, oh my god, what was I even thinking? Like, you know, it's just good for me to see the trajectory of how my work has evolved, but also how it's stayed the same. So, like, you know, I'll get out my viewfinder and I'll just kind of look at things, and maybe like put some collage over top of the parts I don't like, and then work over top of it. And it's really interesting when I find pieces like this, because then when I work on it and when I bring it to completion, I can see parts of the painting that are from, like, you know, a decade ago, mixed with parts that are present day. So that's always just like a really cool juxtaposition, and it's just very interesting to me. But yeah, and I have a whole bunch of these, you guys, but I'm not gonna show you like all of them. I'm still finding stuff in my studio in boxes that I haven't unpacked. I'm just kind of slowly going through them. So there are parts of this that I really like, but like over here, the facial features, I can just tell you right now, like, I'm not digging it at all. I don't know, there's something that feels too stiff in this, you know, portrait over here. But you know, I've mentioned this before, like my work from like a long time ago, I just feel it's too stiff. I appreciate where I was on my journey at that time, but present day, yeah, I don't like it. So I'm probably going to make a video where I do work on a few of these. Now I do like the moon over here, like, see, with that like handmade paper. I love that. And then juxtaposed with the gray, look at, that's a beautiful gray. And that's handmade Indian paper. But yeah, I'm not digging the figures, but there are parts of it that, you know, I can work with. So anyways, I'm gonna put these away for now, but I just wanted to show you. So if you guys, like, you know, have old stuff in your studio, it's just interesting to work over top of it and keep parts of it, and it's just, you know, it's kind of cool. It gives you a lot of information about your art, and your visual language, your style, etc. So I'm just gonna try to clear some of my desk here because it is quite a mess. It's like shrinking on the daily. So now, a lot of times, you guys, like, especially when my daughter was younger, and I've mentioned this before, like, I was pressed for time. I had to make, you know, every moment count. My time was not really my own in that sense, you know, when you have young kids. So I would work on like a lot, like multiple journals at one time. I would work on a lot of paintings, backgrounds at one time. So one of the things I love to do was to move my table outside in the summertime and just put, like, you know, uh, 14, 15, 16 backgrounds, and then just work on it all at once. There are lots of good reasons to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to apply some collage, and I'm just going to like have fun with it. These are, you know, first layers. I have no kind of intention of, oh, it's going to be, you know, a portrait, or it probably will end up being a portrait. And what I'm thinking is I might actually do my 100-day project portrait on here. That would be kind of interesting. But because I don't know, have I done a 100-day project portrait where I just started off with like a design? I think I started off with that cross design where I combined it with collage, maybe. And so when you're working on multiples, there are so many good reasons for doing this. Now, of course, I'm only working on 2 here for a few reasons. The first thing is my desk is very small and cluttered, and I don't have the room to work on more. But because I'm filming, it's also like very difficult the way I have my my camera set up. Like it wouldn't cover, just say my desk was clear and I could put like, you know, 8 pieces of paper, the camera wouldn't like film it all. It would cut it off just the way my camera is positioned. So yeah, maybe I could do that in the summertime maybe, and try to have a setup where I could work outside. I don't know, we'll see. And film it, I mean. But I could definitely take photographs and post it on my Instagram or the community part of YouTube where I can post pictures. That always helps, just to get a visual of what I'm talking about. But the other, there's so many good reasons to work on multiples, you guys. The first thing is, you know, the obvious one, which I mentioned, is just time. Like when my daughter was younger, I pretty much did it out of necessity, just because I was short on time. And I had to squeeze everything in between, you know, her schedule, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just like the time factor. But creatively, there are reasons that are really good to work on multiples. And one of the best reasons is because you become more detached. Like if you're working on one thing, you just kind of get like really into it and you become emotionally invested in it, I find. Well, I know for me that happens because you're just focused on that one thing. You're pouring all of your energy into that one thing, and then it's just much more difficult to become detached. Whereas if you're working on, you know, 14 or whatever multiples of something, it's a very much easier now to just be like, oh, okay, well, it's just one of, you know, 12, so it's not that big of a deal, right? Another reason to work on multiples is like a cross-pollination of ideas, because, you know, things will morph, like you move from here to here. And also too, like if you're working on a series, then, you know, it's really great because you can like use a similar color palette, for instance. And I've seen artists do that as well. And so that's a good reason to work on multiples as well. So there's lots of good reasons. I found, like I started off working on a lot of different things at one time out of necessity when my daughter was younger. And then I kind of accidentally discovered, oh, actually, you know, when you work on multiples, this is what happens. You become more detached and you are able to take risks more because you're not so emotionally invested. And oh, if you're going to do a series, you know, it helps because, you know, I can say, oh, I'm just going to have the same color palette. I'm going to use the same collage, etc., etc. So, yeah, it's just, I did it out of necessity, and then I discovered other great reasons to work in this way. And especially when you're working on backgrounds, it does help. And I have a ton of backgrounds, you guys. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I like go, what on earth? But, you know, it is what it is. And now I have like backgrounds that I can use for other stuff. And so I'm just like putting handmade paper. So do you see, like if I was working on a series, like I have, you know, dictionary pages, handmade paper. So you can just like work on like a whole bunch of things and use similar collage, paint, lines, etc. And I'm going to show you here in a minute. But you can also like vary it a little bit. You don't have to, you know, keep the same of everything. If you want to, you can. Now, this is some of my my handwriting, so I like that. And let me see here. And I'm doubling up on this collage here, like I'm layering collage over top of collage. Okay, now, so I'm going to show you this. So I'm just dipping my Stabilo into water because I want some juicy lines. And like, I'm just going to go over two of the pieces at one time. And you can, like, just say I had like 8 pieces, you can do the same thing. You can splash, you know, paints with your brush. And see, I just moved the paper, but I'm still making like lines here from crossing over from both pages. And let's move this a little bit here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I am going to put some inks down here, and I'm going to go with a little bit of yellow because there's already yellow on here. So let me just kind of drag some yellow over top of this here. And see, so I'm even like dripping pieces on, I'm sorry, I'm dripping some of the ink onto the pages here. And I need another color. Not really sure. I've got yellow, I've got red. I think I need a little bit of blue here. Not a lot. You know what? Do I need Prussian blue? Okay, I'm gonna use this blue here. And I'm just building up my page, you guys. I'm just like building up my page, but I'm working on multiples. So it's just like really interesting to see how they're going to be similar, but they're also going to be different. You know, obviously they look very much alike now, but you know, as I progress, then what you can do is just say you're working on, you know, I'm going to use this as an example. Just say you're working on 12 separate sheets of paper, just like this, like I'm working on 2, but you're working on 12. Okay, so you work on them together for like maybe a couple of layers, and then you split them apart. Then you take, you know, 6 of them out. I'm just using that as an example. You take 6 of them out and you move them aside. You take, you know, you work on 6, as you progress, and then you maybe change your color palette. It's just there are infinite ways you can kind of use this working on multiples, you guys. And there's no like there's no rules to it really. And I'm gonna use some chalk around here. Just kind of smush it. Oops. So you guys, I'm gonna let this dry. Actually, before I do, I am gonna add a little bit of this red ink here, just because I'm feeling it. Just want to add a little bit, not a whole lot. Okay, you guys, so I am going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back and I'll probably make another video, just like how I'm going to kind of progress with this. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video.